Hello everyone! It's been a while since we've done some Analogue A Hate Story. I think since January? It's July? Huh. I have no idea what we're doing. Did I watch the last video? No. I need to be honest, I've kind of lost interest in Let's Playing this. I want to play it, but I don't really want to Let's Play it. But we're so close to being done. I think it was like 83%. Yeah, we're like so close to being done. So we might as well finish it. I might as well not cancel this. There's no reason for me to cancel it. That's what I'm trying to say. So I guess we do this one. Dear Diary, this sounds so pathetic to say. I tried rewriting this a million times just to make it sound less pathetic for me, but I simply cannot. There were two things that made life worthwhile, two things that made this last year before I die be bearable. The first one was Jay's company, being that one person that was friendly to me. The second is sharing a bed with my husband. For the past few months, that's what I've been saving all my energy for, that brief precious half hour every few nights when I feel fulfilled, if only in the most literal sense. It's the most lovely feeling, and now I'll never feel it again. The two things making my last year of life worth living gone forever. The past few nights I've been trying to get the Emperor's attention in that way, pleading silently for his affection, with no luck. On the fourth, or was it the fifth day, he finally took me aside and said painful annoyance in his voice, "Enough. Stop that. It is completely inappropriate. You're supposed to be in mourning. Show some damn chastity, or do you have no respect for my wife and your queen at all?" He snapped. When I looked confused, he just lectured me. When I cried, he sighed, held me tightly, and then left the room. I haven't spoken to him since, but later that day, my servant came to my room with good news. I was to go visit my family for a couple months while the house is in mourning for Jawa. I couldn't argue, of course, even if I was able. So just like that, I was sent back to hell. I was dressed in the usual veil so nobody would see my face as I was escorted back to Kim House in the middle of the night. Mother and father were there, briefly, to greet me, and in spite of how I felt about them, I put on my bravest smile and bowed and nodded politely to their questions about how I was doing. Then they had to go to bed and left, leaving me alone with sister. Young-so? I don't know, was nowhere to be seen. "Hi," she said. "I never thought you'd end up visiting us again so soon." I shrugged. "Well, let's have some tea. It's just us still around," she said. I nodded. It seemed like a good enough idea. There was a pause. "Well, go make it," she snapped, removing any doubt that she might treat me with any sort of friendliness. Of course I made the tea. I don't disobey her anymore. "Thanks," she said. "So Young-sok is out, attending to official business at the moment, but you should avoid him. He's still angering you because father-in-law finds you more important to the family than his own son. Can you blame him?" I had no idea what she was talking about, and she just continued. "So you really shouldn't talk to him. Oh, I guess you can't really do that, can you?" "Ah, well, you know what I mean." Yes, I knew exactly what she meant. "I'm surprised you're back so soon, though, especially now that you don't have to share your husband. Does that mean you're the primary wife now?" I didn't know. "Does that make you queen? Oh, what great fortune you have! Father-in-law must be so proud of you." I stared at her, wishing nothing more than to be able to kill her through sheer force of rage. How could she possibly say something so awful? My only friend was dead, and here she was, taunting me. What an awful thing to do. But I couldn't hate her to death, no matter how much I tried. So instead, I tried holding back angry tears to hide my weakness. I couldn't do that either. Just please keep reading. Okay. Clearly we left out a weird part. I'll kill them all. Dear Diary, I was far too feverish to do any real cooking, so my servant was doing all the work for me that night when father came in. I think he was drunk, or maybe just tired, or stupid. "You know, child," he said to me, "you grew up to be a wonderful daughter." I was shocked to hear him say that, and waved my servant out of the kitchen. I never heard even the slightest indication of that before. For that briefest moment, it even made me happy to hear that. That surprised me, that I actually felt that way. As a kid, I never would have wanted his approval, so why now? He continued to make me wonder when he asked, "Do you remember what you were like as a child?" I nodded, but I wasn't certain I did. You were so temperamental. You argued all the time. You didn't want to get married when the time came. You just didn't even know your place, you know? That's right. I didn't. I was back when I thought there was a point to being defiant. When I was there, I wondered. That's the part that amazes me now. I tried to think of a reason why I might want to be defiant, why I valued independence, and at first I couldn't even think of anything. I'd forgotten entirely. Don't tell Young So, but it really scared me. You were always the family's best hope for prosperity, but that attitude of yours, I thought I'd never match the value of those crazy, uncivilized ideas of yours, he said, while I tried to think of what they were. There were times I thought it was a mistake to have hatched you, but you came through. You really did. I knew it must have been painful, but I'm proud of you. Then he patted me on the head. You turned out to be a good girl. It's all I wanted to say. It was hard raising you to be a proper woman, but you turned out to be perfect. Thank you, he said. I stared, speechless. I tried to remember. What crazy uncivilized ideas was he talking about? Thinking back to those days, or back to before I was frozen. I tried to remember. I had dreams of what adulthood would be, but they were so unimaginably different from what the reality turned out to be. They seemed impossible. Completely impossible. Nothing more than childhood fantasies without a shred of realism to them. I tried to think of what they were, to imagine them. In those dreams, I was strong, independent. I wasn't just a wife in those dreams. I had a job, working as a ship's engineer, following in the footsteps of my father, my real father. I wasn't married in those dreams. I was happy just to go on dates with boys my age in a ship's plaza and fall in love before making any commitments. I dreamed of being free. The more I thought about it, the more I was certain that's what those dreams were about. That's what I wanted. But Father, Kim Jong-Zu, rather, I don't know, had made sure to disavow me of those notions. I learned to stop arguing, to stop trying to fight, to stop dreaming of those things. In other words, I learned how to be a proper woman. And he was proud of that, proud of destroying my dreams. And now I would die under the house of that man, silenced, broken, helpless, and unloved. I was overwhelmed by the strongest feeling I have ever felt in my life, the deepest bitterness, the most powerful resentment I could imagine. I looked at the knife near my hand. I wondered, could I kill him? Before I died, could I at least have justice? I tried to lift the knife. My hand twitched, and it was too hard to keep a grip. I was just too weak. I'd never be able to do it. He smiled at me and said, "Sorry, please, go ahead and keep cooking. I won't distract you more." And just as he was about to go out the door, he added, "Take care of yourself." At that moment, I vowed that I would. I wouldn't worry any more about all these people who had hurt me. I'd take care of myself. I couldn't stab him to death. I was too weak for that. But then I remembered, there were other ways. If I disable life support, I can kill him, and all the others too. It'll be quick, it'll be easy, and not one of them don't deserve it. All I need to disable it is the admin password. It's perfect. Well, so there you are then. Now you know, it's true. I did do what she said I did. I'm not gonna lie, I really wish you never met her. I wish she never said anything to you. I just thought it was so nice the way things were with us before. Things started out so well. I got to be cheery for the first time in my life since I was a child. Talking about actual romantic things. Oh! Actual romantic things together. We were? Having fun with cosplay. Oh yeah, that's why you're in a Sherlock outfit kind of deal. And just, you know, having someone there to talk to. Someone who wasn't interested in shutting me up. But now, well, please, you've read my diary. You have to know it's not. I didn't. You have to understand, right? Even if you think what I did was wrong, look, I've never really been dishonest with you. Fine, I lied about being an AI. Why do I always say IA? I cannot say AI. I always say IA. Why? But I told you the truth. I could have deceived you, but I didn't. Please, you still trust me, right? I never really lied to you. Not seriously. You don't have to think what I did was acceptable, but please tell me you trust me. I trust you. You do? Really? Oh, my word. I mean, of course. I'm so sorry. I should have had faith in you. I really should have. I'm really bad at this. But thank you. Thank you so much. I can't believe I even doubted you for a second. Look, that means a lot to me. It means so much. I mean, I'm sure what I did wasn't right. I know. I'm sure you don't think it was. I just want you to understand, alright? For someone I love, for someone as good to me as you've been, I want you to at least please understand. You don't have to forgive me. Just hear me out. Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're really a good person. Much better than me. Thank you. Then, very well. It's probably just better if I show you. There's a data block that contains all the logs that matter, but my family encrypted it because, well, it should be obvious why after you read it. You need to drop to the terminal and type decrypt block 7. Let me know once you've done that, and I'll show you. I didn't write this down, so hopefully I remember. Decrypt block 7. Decrypting block now. Successful! Block successfully decrypted. How do I leave again? Disable, enable. Quit reactor? Am I gonna do bad things if I do this? No. Okay, good. Very well. These are really hard for me to read. I haven't seen mine since I wrote them, and I haven't seen my family's, well, ever. Well, I think I found, here, I've added some. Just please read them. If you want to know the whole story, those entries will explain. How do I get to just the block itself? 7. Oh, so we're still missing 5 though. Nightmarish bride. It seems that in the year I spent visiting my parents, everything has gone to hell in my husband's family without his knowing. Clearly, I never should have left. He has an idea, but he doesn't understand just how bad things have gotten. When I left, it all seemed under control. The pale bride would be of the right age to be married to the emperor soon enough, and we would be able to use that connection to bring favor to the family. A good plan, except it turns out the pale bride is not even close to ready for marriage. Has nothing to marriage. Age has nothing to do with it. It's the maturity that she lacks. When she first awoke, right before I left, she seemed a little confused, but that was hardly unexpected. She had a whole new family to get accustomed to, and it seemed obvious enough that anyone born so far in the past would have some difficulty adjusting to modern life. But this is far beyond that. There is something simply wrong with that child. When I got back, the first thing Young-soo's wife did was tell me all about how sorry she was for not being able to control the child. I rolled my eyes, as if a grown woman couldn't handle someone of her age. How are you going to raise my grandson like that? I asked. She was quiet, and let me see the pale bride for myself. The first time I saw Young-soo try to get her to do something as simple as sort out his laundry, she wasn't just disobedient, she was openly defiant. When I stepped in to admonish her, it had absolutely no effect. All she did was argue back at me. I tried every approach I could think of, appealing to reality, explaining how important a virtue obedience was, even trying to appeal to sentimentally everything. She just kept saying the same thing, that it wasn't fair to make her do it. Here's the obvious concern, and it's what I said to her. Are you going to tell your husband he's not being fair when he wants something from you? I thought that would put some sense into her, but no, she just answered yes. There's no way this unruly child could possibly be marriageable, not like this. She'd be sent back within a day, and with good reason. What man could possibly want a nightmare like her in his life? Mother. I don't really know what to say about her, even now. This is the first time I've read what she wrote, and it's just... Well, there's more. Here, read them for yourself. Oh, got a couple more. Mother. Dear Diary, the good news is, health-wise, I seem to be doing much better this month. I'm sure this isn't a permanent thing. It's happened before. I can't really remember how the doctor from the past explained it anymore, but he said it was pretty normal, and not something to get my hopes up about. Still, some days this month I actually had enough energy to want to move around. Not that I can move around, of course. I can't leave the house. A good girl shouldn't, is what everyone keeps saying. But when I have the energy to, at least, that's something. Big news is that the woman who's supposed to be my adopted mother came back. I didn't really see her much before she left. I might as well have been meeting a new person. I wish I could say that I had high hopes for her, that I had thought that maybe she'd be fine. That'd be a lie, though. I knew she'd be as bad as the rest the moment I saw her. And she was, of course. And she was. Of course she was. That doesn't really work too well. She's even worse than sister-in-law. She gives these awful lectures. I can't even describe them. They're that horrible. She's that horrible. Okay. So then we need to do this one. Independent woman. If you're so worried, why don't you just explain everything to her and simply and rationally? Zhengsu asked me. My response was obvious. She's a woman. We're not particularly rational, he said. You know what I mean. I could hardly do it. But coming from a woman, perhaps she will understand that it's all for her own good. Maybe, I said, doubting it. But I tried anyways. She took her time arriving after I summoned her to her room. Can we speak? I asked her, trying to keep my voice calm. She glared, then snapped, Fine. I asked her to sit down, but she refused. Look, I said, trying to speak to her as an equal. I still didn't think my husband was right, but it was worth trying. I've been told you'd rather be called Hyone. Is that right? She said yes, bitterly, not giving me much to go off of. That's a very pretty name, I said. Thanks, she said, but her voice was still unfriendly. My parents gave it to me, I said. You must miss them very much, she nodded. I don't understand, Hyone. Were you so difficult with them too? No, she said. They were nice. They actually cared about me. They're nothing like you people. I sighed. I care about you, Hyone. You're a part of the family. You're a Kim. Your parents are our ancestors, and I know they think it's very important that we've raised you right. If you want to be a bad filial daughter and treat us without any respect, well, you wouldn't be the first. Do you really think an old woman like me really cares that much about your opinion of me? I thought, maybe, I'd try appealing to her selfishness. Her marriage is important to the family, but clearly she doesn't care about fidelity. It's you I'm worried about. Do you think any husband's really going to put up with the way you are for even a second? She kept glaring at me. That's all you keep talking about. Marriage, marriage, marriage. I'm 14. I'm 14 years old. What's wrong with you? Why does everything have to be about some man? Why do I have to marry somebody that you picked? She screamed at me. I remained calm. You're going to be a royal concubine, Hyone. We're not dumping you off on just anyone. There's no better man. I don't know if you were already engaged in the past, but your parents would do the same if they could. It's what's best for you. They would want this. No, they wouldn't, she shrieked. They wanted me to grow up. They wanted me to be an independent woman. That's what Mom and Dad thought was important. I don't want to be a concubine. I don't care about marriage. An independent woman? They wanted you to be a whore? I asked, my patience run as thin as anyone's would be. I didn't believe for a second my husband's ancestors were the monsters she was making them to be, and was sick of this. Get out, I snapped at her. Just get out. Sigh. Are you just showing me that because you want to see more from her? Yes. Oh, well, in that case, there's nothing I can do. She didn't really write about that much. There's nothing else of hers in here that's really relevant. You've seen it all. Sorry. No problem. I'm more just showing you because you have different things to say each time. On occasion. Oh, I was dumb and didn't get water. And I'm almost out of Starbucks. Okay. New anxiety. The new anxiety. Dearest mother, my mother-in-law has relieved me of any responsibility for looking after the pale bride. As a matter of pride, I feel bad that a simple child is too much for me to handle, but I'm certainly glad she's not my problem anymore. Now I can put my undivided attention back where it belongs, onto my husband and his ambitions. Tell me, though, Mother, because I know we didn't always get along that well. I was never that bad, was I? Sure, we were both happy when I moved out. Well, perhaps I wasn't happy right away. I was more scared. And I'm sure you were relieved to have some space. But you would have never given up on me, right? I was never that bad, was I? Deep down I worry. My husband seems content to take his time to have children, which is a decision I can certainly live with. But what about when we do? What if we have a daughter? Will I fail with her too? I've been telling myself that it's not me, it's her. She's a peculiarly unruly child, and it's not ordinarily that bad. It's not, right? Please tell me I have nothing to worry about. Please. You know, I never did like her. When I woke up, she was just this awful person who kept saying the most awful things. Never as bad as Mother, but still. I didn't read any of her letters when I was alive, of course, but you know what really surprised me? She made such an awful impression on my life. I hated her the most for so long, and she barely even ever mentioned me. All my suffering, it was just a minor distraction to her, nothing more, insignificant compared to her man. I sigh. There's one more from her that you should read. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about her. There's just one thing that I keep thinking, though. Just one thing. I have no idea what her name was. Problems with historical records. Not everyone puts their names on them. Drastic measures. The pale bride picked the worst of all possible days to throw another one of her childish fits, refusing to even get dressed for her interview. This one was with the Emperor himself. Not even my husband was able to get her to listen. He had to personally apologize himself for not being able to bring her as scheduled, and lied about a sudden illness. You have to do something about her, I said to my husband that evening. She's completely out of control. I know, he said. That's quite clear. He looked so worried. I hugged him and tried to comfort him. Everything would fall apart if something couldn't be done. She threatened to say something stupid and dangerous to the Emperor, and we were both scared that she might. Maybe it's time to consider doing something drastic, I said to him. He nodded. I know, he said. I can only think of one idea. I do not like it. I would rather not. Even hitting her was far worse than I would have wanted. He explained his idea to me, and agreed that it was terrible, and I agreed that it was terrible, and I didn't like it either. But it would stop her from arguing, stop her from ruining her own life. Her father was, my husband was, as always, right. There was only one way. There was one big fight I had with her, the one that changed everything, the one I had finally lost. My diary makes it sound really dramatic. I know, I was young at the time, but it really was. Just read it. It's exactly how it went. Boop. My last stand. Dear Diary, everything managed to spiral out of control so quickly today. I wasn't planning on it happening this way, but here's the point where I make my stand, I guess. It sounds dramatic, but I won't just let them marry me off to some stranger. I won't let them. Just before dinner yesterday, Mother told me that I had to go do an interview with some man, the Emperor. I guess, for all I care. The way she put it was, I'd get a chance to see that he was a man you could fall in love with, or something stupid like that. As if, I said in response, and I spent the rest of the evening thinking about what I could possibly do to make it clear. I wouldn't let them do this. This morning, after breakfast, sister-in-law showed up in my room. Good morning, she said. Today's a big day for you, isn't it? Mother-in-law wanted me to help you get dressed and all made up. You want to make a good first impression, after all. I glared at her and summoned up all my courage. No, I said. What? She asked. No, I'm not going. She left, and Mother herself came in. This was it, I told myself. This was the big moment. I'm not going, I said before she could say anything. I'm not going to get dressed up. I'm not going to meet him. I'm definitely not going to get married, I shouted. For a moment she said nothing and didn't move. Then she left too, without saying a word. I thought that would feel good, but it didn't. It just made me worry more. I couldn't have possibly won this that easily, I thought. And I hadn't, of course. After a few minutes she returned with Father, who looked incredibly angry. Min Zheng says you're refusing to get ready for your interview, he said. Yeah, I stammered, not used to talking to him. I won't go, and I won't get married. He walked over in just 2 strides and then glared at me for a second. I had no idea what he was going to do, and he slapped me in the face so hard that it knocked me over. Yes, you will, he said. I drag you there, kicking and screaming if I have to. My face is in so much pain, I forced myself to sit back up. I won't, I said, bracing myself for if he hit me again. He did. Yes, you will, he said. I couldn't keep this up. It already hurt so much. I couldn't just brave that out. Then it came to me. If you make me do the interview, I said, I'll tell the Emperor that you've been conspiring behind his back. It was all I could think of, and all I could do was cross my fingers and hope that the threat worked. It had to. He glared at me, and in that moment, I knew it worked. The 2 of them looked at each other, then they both left together. That was 3 hours ago. I don't know what's going to happen now, and I think my face is swollen. It still hurts, and I didn't want it to go that way. So that's me, making my stand. I'll get to that, but for now, please just look at everything else first. Peace at last. Recently, the pale bride's temperament has improved immensely. It isn't simply that she's now quiet, it's that she's actually respectful and calmer. After rescheduling, she had an interview with the Emperor, and he was actually quite charmed with her. I'm just so happy for her own sake that she finally stopped resisting the marriage. It's all coming together now. A date has been set from when she'll be sent to live with him, and in the meanwhile, things at home have been peaceful again for everyone. Actually, it's better than just that. I've been spending more time with her, of her own free will. I've been giving her advice for coping with marriage, and now the girl actually listens politely. Otherwise, there's little else to write about. I wish there had been a better way to get her to behave, but in the end, it seems to be working out. A soul can't imagine how awful it would be if she refused to even ever leave the home, and simply made life hell for us, or worse, if she just got sent off and then tried to pull any of that on her husband. She'd get sent back for sure. Maybe now things will finally start to come together for the family. I must admit, for a time I doubted the optimism that Jiangsu expressed in the 319th year, but now it seems that he was right all along. What a relief. Of her own free will. I can't believe she actually said that. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. I can't believe she would have possibly thought that. Just unbelievable. The new promise. Dearest mother, today the pale bride finally left home to live with her new husband. As she isn't the primary wife, there was no fanfare or ceremony for her departure itself. So instead, last night we had a special big feast to commemorate. I know I've said bad things about her before, but it's not just that I was happy to see her gone. She's been better since mother and father-in-law managed to get her to keep quiet. The thought of it still leaves me really uncomfortable. She was always just a confused child. I hate the fact that my family considers her so important and neglects my husband, and I certainly hate her for not appreciating the status and fighting it. But the fact that she doesn't understand the world, I can feel for that. It's not like I always understand myself. Regardless, it went well. The big feast was my idea, and she was happy to help with the cooking. Earlier, she had spent the afternoon getting ready the dress she was going to wear when she arrived with mother-in-law, and she seemed rather anxious about it. While we cooked, I opened the wine early and poured it for her. I think she needed it. I told her the same story I told you a while ago about how scared I was when I first moved in. It seems as though it was a lifetime ago, and yet, despite all the strangeness, I've grown so accustomed to it. You'll eventually grow to love him, I promised her, just as you promised me all those years ago. Appreciate how good you'll have it. I don't really have any more to say about her. You wanted to talk to me. Oh, I guess that's a different kind of talk. You read almost everything now. I know you've had faith in me, and I promise it hasn't been misplaced. There's just one more thing. I don't think you'll be surprised. You seem smart, I'm sure. I'm sure you've already guessed what it is. Still, go ahead. Ask it. Ask me the obvious question. Go ahead, ask it? Ask me that. Okay, go back to that one log, I'm guessing. Oh, that one question. So it's something in here? Why did you kill those people? Do you ever have any friends? Why couldn't you just settle for a happy marriage? How do you feel about Mute? How old are you? What do you really look like? Why don't you treat me with more respect? How do you feel about me? I don't know what she wants me. Okay, it might be that one, but I'm gonna go look at that one log where it's like I'll get back to it later. It was like this one? Where she's like, come back to it later and ask me? Or is it this one? How did the big fight end? That's what you're asking, right? Or maybe you're asking, how did it change everything? How was that the most important thing? Maybe you want to know how bad it could have been. That it made me think the whole family deserved to die. Well, if you haven't already guessed, here's my last diary entry. I can't say it myself. I can't bring myself to even now. Please, just read it. Oh, I have an idea of what it might be, and I really hope it isn't that. Oh, it's that they're gonna go 2 directions. If it goes a 3rd direction, hopefully it's a better direction than the 2 I'm thinking. Forever silenced. The evening where everything went wrong, where I thought I was going to win with my adoptive parents. Well, I didn't. I lost. Making my stand, I wrote, just hours before it happened. Yeah, right. When I got called in the kitchen, they were both there. On one of those stove burners, there was a knife. I thought it was a little bit odd, but I didn't care. Father stared at me and said, the fighting needs to end now. He was so sure of himself. Of course he was. He had every reason to be, but I stubbornly stood my ground. I said no. Oh no, this is definitely going in one of the directions I thought it was. I do not want to hurt you, he lied. Just promise to be less argumentative, and this can end peacefully. But I just had to fight back. I just had to say no. I just had to remind him I wasn't joking. I really will tell the Emperor that you hurt me and that you plotted against him. No, he said, you won't. He motioned at Mother and said, bring her over. She grabbed me and I tried to dig my feet in, but it didn't work. The father pinned me against the wall with his whole body. I kicked and screamed, desperately trying to get free, but it was no use. He was big, and I was small and sick and weak and frail. Then he grabbed the knife from the stove, and I shrieked in horror. No, I screamed at him, don't. But then Mother grabbed my mouth and held it open. I tried to keep screaming, but I was powerless and terrified. When he raised the knife towards me, I thought he was going to kill me. It was worse. Next thing I know, I could taste disgusting flesh as he stuck his fingers in my mouth and pulled. I'm sorry, Mother said. Then briefly I could taste the steel. Then nothing but blood. Oh my gosh. All I could taste was so much blood. Nothing but blood. Finally they both let go of me. I collapsed onto the floor. Why, I wanted to say, but couldn't. I blacked out from the pain after that, but just before I did, I could swear I heard Father say, you will not ever argue with any man again. He was right, of course. Oh, that is so freaking brutal. Oh my gosh. How did nobody look at him, like, notice when she didn't open her mouth, though. When she was, like, eating, or did she eat? I can't remember anymore. What did she eat? Oh my god, how did nobody realize that was, like, her tongue was gone? That's why. That's why I gave up. That's why I wanted to kill them so much. Sorry. It's really not to talk about it. It's just I'll try. I'm sorry. I told you it makes sense, right? That there was a good reason? Please, tell me you don't think I let you down. That is definitely a good reason to want revenge. Oh my gosh, that is terrible. Plus, this technically is a dating sim as much as it doesn't seem like one, so kinda want to get a good ending, but here's the thing. Here's also the problem with me not playing it in so long. When she took out life support, was it just for essentially her family, or was it for everyone in the spaceship? Because there was more than just his family in the space place, right? I mean, I'm hoping it was just the family. Even then, really, she'd only have taken out him and the mother. If you really needed to kill them. This is a dating sim, and I kind of want to see what a good ending is, so I'm just going to say you haven't. Because at least you fought back in some way, even though I don't like how many people you took out with you. I haven't. You don't, you mean you understand that? Yeah. It's quite understandably why you went, I need to kill these people. There's no, like, I'm gonna die anyways, and these people literally mutilated her. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That really means so much to me. I'm so glad. I don't know what to do if you didn't think, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I was terrified. So terrified I thought you might not. I'm so glad. Thank you. You can stop saying thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, can we just talk a little more instead? There's, something really important I need to, tell you. Okay. Right, I have really strong feelings, but it's not like I've been pouring my heart out to you. I really think you're a good person, and I feel you continue to be a really good listener, and a great, geez, I'm in love with you! I love those moments where it's just like, it's almost like she starts to touch something and then she quickly backspaced it. I love them. Okay. I finally said it. This is so embarrassing. I know, it's that I'm being really silly, right? I mean, jeez, I guess I know what you're thinking, right? You think that's ridiculous. Not at all, cause I want a good ending. Kinda as good as I'm gonna get. You don't? Oh, here's another thing that's a bit of a problem though, is literally everything we said to her has essentially been either something she wrote for us to say, or like those mute questions. So she actually, like, she can get a general context, but we haven't actually physically said anything to her. That's a bit weird. But anyways, that's why I'm in love, because you manage to happily surprise me every time. I never thought that I would find someone who understands me, someone who listens, who would hear my whole life story and doesn't hate me. You really have been wonderful. You know, I know, it's a lot to spring on someone just like that. And I don't even know if you're even a man or a sort of woman who wouldn't have a problem with that and still married. I think, didn't at the beginning we said what our gender was? I'm pretty confident at the beginning of this we said what our gender was. Yeah, because I remember how I had to go back and check, because I'm like, is this just lesbians or no, technically same sex, that's a better way to put it. This is just same sex, and then I'm like, oh no, you can say you're a guy. That's weird. So it could be either way. But why was I looking that up? I don't remember now. Anyways. But if you are, do you think we might have a chance together? And just a chance? You're an AI, so I don't really know how that would work. But yeah, let's try to figure that one out. Yeah, sure. That is truly the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've been sort of thinking about this for a while. A little bit embarrassing, I know, but, well, we don't have to rush to get married. How the heck are we gonna marry an AI? We don't have to rush to get married or anything. I mean, you know how scary it was the last time I was a wife. I just really like to, just be with you as an equal. Does that sound right to you? No, of course. Wonderful. Oh, I really do. I really, really do love you. It's funny, isn't it? I know almost nothing about you. Yeah, there's a bit of a problem with that. I have no idea what you look like. I have no idea how you talk. I have no idea what's supposed to be the most important thing about a person. If you're man, you asked me this. I'm confident that is something that happened at the beginning of this game, is you asked me what my gender was. I have no idea how old you are, although I suppose you must be much younger. Well, than you as an AI? Maybe. don't know. Or maybe older, depending on how you look at it. Nor do I have any idea where you're from. Oh, she's technically a minor. Oh, no, I didn't realize that until now. No, I don't like this anymore. Nor do I have any idea where you're from, or even your name. But I know that you take me seriously, that you understand me, that you don't treat me as something less just for being a woman. I know that talking to you makes me feel better than I've ever felt in my life. And that's good enough for me. Thumbs up. Oh, this is so weird. That's far better than I've ever had. So, very well. I'll decompile myself now. That way you can just drop to the terminal and type download to copy everything to your ship, including myself. It should only take a few days to do a complete transfer. I'll see you soon, alright? So this is how my sister-in-law felt on her wedding night. So I guess we're downloading? Starting active systems download will permanently terminate session AI downloading an additional. Wait. It's available. Terminate session AI personality is available. Addition to logs. Yes. Hey, you will be transferred. Bye. Okay. I'm not sitting here for almost 4 days. I'm sorry. That's not gonna happen. I need to make dinner. Aww! That's so cute! Yeah, do I have to click through, or are you just gonna do... I'm scared if I do this, cards my stop. Oh no, I have to do it myself. Okay, I'm sorry for the people, but I guess I should read these out. Original soundtrack, Isaac Shankler. Editing, Shadoshi. Incoming message. Good work on recovering the Mugangwa files. I just spoke to the sponsor's representatives on audio. He sounded really pleased with what you delivered. I've credited your account with a standard payment. Listen, I've got another job lined up for you. It's on— No! Standard payment. Listen, I've got another job lined up for you. It's on Earth, but it sounds to me like after that last job you could use a change of pace. There's a man whose wife has. Playtesting. Alex Androsky. Playtesting after all. Sarah Breen. That name sounds familiar. Playtesting Anna Anthropy. Jasper Thrussell. Korean translation, Jiwon Kim. Korean PR, McWong, I'm so sorry. Daehan Kim. Shion Zaria Lim. Kyung Jun Lee. I'm so sorry, I don't know. White Rabbit, font by Matthew Welsh. Special thanks to Tom Rothamel, creator of Renpai. Ending 2. Completion rate this time, 93. Total completion rate, 93. Thanks for playing! I got like 3 different achievements. Well, I guess that's technically it. I'm probably not gonna go do the other endings. I'm sorry. I might do them in my own time, but I don't think I'm gonna let's play them again. As a let's play, I don't think this was a good kind of let's play. I'm not a good enough voice actor to make this great. That's one thing I felt. And me stumbling over words just doesn't help. As a dating sim, I don't particularly like it. I don't know. It's not the best dating sim I've seen or played. As a visual novel, it was interesting. It was definitely an interesting concept, and I really liked it. I really liked how they set it up. But that might also be because I am a history major, and doing this with real life things is kind of what I'm supposed to be trained to do, is just take like a diary entry and go, okay, what can I get from this to explain the society that this person lives in, and explain their identity, explain who they are, how their life works, and all that stuff. So from that point of view, I loved it, because I could think about that. I could be like, okay, what can I get from this society for this? Not sure if it makes a great dating sim, but I liked the story. Yeah, I'm not sure how the whole mute thing works. I don't know. Maybe I'll go watch videos instead of just replaying it myself, but Kind of liked it. Not perfect, but like especially since and one reason why I put up so long. I didn't think I was gonna finish this tonight, but the reason why I put up so long playing this was because I just didn't want to read everything out loud. I really didn't. Like, I don't know, because it's different than some visual novels, because it felt like there was even more reading. You know what I mean? Like, not because there was a lack of voice acting, but because it's like, okay, read this diary entry, now read another diary entry, read another diary entry, and so it's not really a conversation, so you don't really have enough pause. It's much longer, there's much more to it, so it's like more of an explanation about what's going on. So, I don't know. It got kind of annoying just to read out constantly. Definitely good at helping me read things out loud, because I am not good at that, and I felt like I'm doing way better now than I did when I first started this. Who knows, maybe I'm not. But, yeah, I guess that's it. This is like 45 minutes now. I should really stop this. So, I want to thank you for watching. If you're still watching this, after, the fact that the final episode's coming like 6 months after the last episode. But I guess that's how it is. I'm so sorry about that. I really am. I just didn't really have any urge to do this. And then I think I put it on hiatus because I was busy. I just didn't have time. I don't even remember why. Regardless, I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you whenever I do next. I already have an idea which visual novel. Actually, I'm stuck between 3. You know what? Oh no, I can't say this because I can't click out of this game. What are they? I'm debating on doing Seduce Me. It's a terrible dating sim, but it's hilarious because it's terrible. But I do know the story to that one. Debating on doing Amnesia Memories, which is just one I've seen like a bad ending to, and that's it, and it looked fantastic. There's also, technically this also has a sequel, which I don't know, I might not do that for a while. I don't even know if I will do the sequel. And then there's also one that a friend got me that he highly recommends, which is why I'm debating on doing that one next and not like Amnesia Memories. Because he highly recommends it. It's supposed to be really good. I can't remember what the name is. Devil on a G-string? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. It also has like another name, but that's the name I'm remembering at the moment. I'm not even sure if that's correct. Regardless, if you have any preference, like I want to see this one, please say. Regardless, I'm probably going to do the one my friend gifted me, because he did gift it to me, and I should probably play the games that are gifts, and not just, I bought this because it looks interesting for myself, because just to honor the fact that someone spent money on me, and I should probably actually play those. Regardless, I hope to see you later, because I said bye like 5 times now. This is going to be the final time. Bye. Have a good day.